along these lines, I'll just make this point. When Van Til's talking about a philosophy of history, you have to recognize that the theologian he invokes most often when he's speaking that way is Gerhardus Voss. And not only Voss, but Voss in a kind of predominant way. And what he has in view there is that no sooner did God create Adam as his image than he endowed Adam in that creational act with natural knowledge of himself that consisted in a religious bond of fellowship. And no sooner did God form Adam in that natural religious fellowship than Voss emphasizes robustly that he condescended in terms of special providence and instantaneously upon creation entered into a covenant of works to advance that fellowship bond to its full fruition. And so Adam did not know himself apart from the worship and fellowship of the triune God, which was his by nature and which could be advanced by the special revelational terms of the covenant of works. And so you don't have that in Roman Catholicism. There is no natural religious fellowship. It's super added in the donum super additum. You don't have it in Barth. The first man is instantly the first sinner. There's no such thing as natural religious fellowship in history. You have to go to the dialectical domain of, or the supra-historical domain of Geschichte to find that. What Van Til's saying here is that the Reformed have a comprehensively distinctive conception of the God-world relation that is expressed in terms of a philosophy of history that moves from creation and covenant to, after the fall, redemption and its full fruition in consummation, in union and communion with Christ. And what gets centered in it is a distinctive conception of God and a distinctive conception of man and Christ that you just don't find in Roman Catholicism, Arminianism, Lutheranism, Neo-Orthodoxy, idealism, or any other form of theology or philosophy that's out there. And so this is it's a comprehensive account of the God-world relation and a distinctive conception of the history of special revelation at every point. That's what Van Til's after, in part. We can say more.
Yeah, the only thing that, I mean, that's wonderfully said. It's all interconnected. When we hear philosophy of history, some people's eyes might glaze over and we might think, like, what are we talking about?
Right.
I find it so refreshing that Van Til is so simple when he talks about a philosophy of history. He's saying, look, all I'm talking about is the absolute God in his comprehensive decree, executing that decree in time.
Right. Right.
And when we drill down into that execution, we can speak theologically of the doctrine of providence, but at a deeper level, we can understand that in Van Til's mind, as Lane said, with Voss in the background, God is executing his decree in terms of a covenantal history, beginning with his covenant of works with Adam, and then post-fall inaugurating what he had already determined in eternity, having appointed his son as the Messiah in the Pactum Salutis. He's going to execute a covenant of grace that unfolds organically from the time point of the fall into the consummation, all revealing and then accomplishing and throughout the ages applying the person and work of Christ to sinners, leading to the final judgment and the new heavens and the new earth. So it's the whole, I mean, the key word here is comprehensive. And if we submit ourselves to that comprehensive, God-centered, decree grounding, providence unfolding philosophy of history, then as Van Til says on page 37, we are going to interpret nature and history in light of God's interpretation of those things, because they're one and the same. God's interpretation is being revealed through time in every created thing according to his sovereign plan centered on Christ.